Hello friends, neighbors, John your whiskey neighbor here. Welcome down the Whiskey Nook. We're past St. Patrick's Day. Hope you had a fantastic day with friends and neighbors or virtually with friends and neighbors. And now I'm going to get back into some rye. I've got a few more bottles I want to talk to, and one of those bottles is this one. This is batch 2 of Alberta Premium. Now I've seen a ton of video reviews of batch 2, but I recently just was able to pick it up. And, at least a year ago, before the craze, I talked about batch 1. So what I thought I'd like to do, don't really know batch 2 as well as I'd like to, so I wanted to do them blind. So I have asked my wife, and she has poured me with no water, with water. I don't know what is what at all. Like I don't know in any way. So this will be a blind shootout between batch 1 and batch 2 of Alberta Premium Cask Strength Rye. 3, 4. Hey, thanks for staying with me. If you couldn't tell from the opener, I'm actually really excited. When batch 1 came out, I really enjoyed it, and I was having a lot of fun recommending it to some friends and family who were able to get it like me for sub $50 Canadian. A cask strength, beautiful rye, 65.1%, under $50. And then, as we all know, Jim Murray had to say this is the best whiskey he's ever had, or something like that, for a year. And all of a sudden, I couldn't get it anywhere. And then it started showing up like for $280, $250. Come on, that's crazy. So I just had to live with this bottle and the backup that I have. And then, cousin Brad and cousin Gary and a few others started they said, oh, we got this Alberta Cask Strength in BC. And then I started seeing it on YouTube. And then I noticed, without a lot of fanfare, that they had released a second batch. And you can tell very simply about the percentage. The second one, 66%, and the first one, 65%. Now, I didn't do a lot of homework again to get into it. It's all rye. It's from Alberta Premium, Calgary, Alberta. They know rye. They've been releasing their own for a ton of years, of course, but they sell it by the trainload to other distilleries, mostly south of the border, Masterson's, Whistle Pig, lots of places. Pick up Alberta rye, re-age or blend, and do certain things, and then sell it back into Canada or internationally, however it goes. So Alberta Premium actually has been making rye for a really long time. The regular product sits shelf sub $20 here in Canada. All prices are Canadian. So, when I was getting this sub 50, it was worth it. 280, not a chance. This second bottle was $65 in my neighborhood. Maybe because I really like batch 1. So we're going to go blind. I really don't know. I guess I'll put them bookends, but I really don't know what's what. I think I might burn out my palate, but I kind of want to drink them straight. So I don't know what's what. I don't know which I'm drinking, but I want to nose and sip and give you my thoughts on these. And then I'll do the same on the ones with water, and they've been proofed down to, I did the math on the 66, 44%, same amount of water, so whatever, a little bit less on the 65. I hope you can follow me. I hope you have some rye, and even better if you have either one of these, and see if any of the notes that I catch match yours. And of course they might not, because all of this is always just how we taste it, how we experience it. So first one, looks like a red ladybug versus a purple one. So the red ladybug. Nice, juicy, spicy rye. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of butterscotch. Let's see about the nose on the purple one. This one is same spice. It's obviously a rye, but was a little bit of almost a sweet toffee in it. Yeah, this one a little more brown sugar, a little more toffee. Okay, back to the red one. A little more apple, a little more, like it's almost more char, bold. Okay, so on the nose, I'm not sure which one I prefer. This one's like a little more toasted, a little more, it's a little more creamy. So the purple one, a little more creamy. Why don't we taste it? We'll go bold all the way in, pick a favorite without water, and then I'll pick a favorite with water. So back on the red. Such an expressive palate. It's just bold. I got, hot cinnamon red hearts. It's spicy, it's peppery. Skin of a red apple, so some fruit, but they're not luscious. They're more tangy, tart kind of fruit. Big and bold. All right, purple. From the nose and the palate, more toffee, more caramel. It's more buttered. It is spicy, now more on the finish, but less in the mouth. It bites less. Very interesting. Gonna go quick back into the red. Yeah, very cinnamon red apple, candy apple. Second sip in, of course my mouth must be adjusting. It's a little less aggressive and more oaky. Some really nice oak coming through on that one. A little more vanilla. More buttered notes. I like both. That would be a cop-out. So in this case, I find this one, the purple, more well-structured and put together. Hey, I would love this. This is punchy and peppery and really good. I like these, but I'm going to pick this one as my favorite. So I don't know how to do that. 1, 2 over here. Okay, I don't even know if you can see them. All right, now these two have been watered down to about 44%. So this is more like, okay, if this rye was just a rye, is this just Alberta Premium? So I've got holly leaves and candy canes. Boy, we must have been hurting for stickers. So, first the candy cane on the nose. It sure backed off. Now the fruit's a little more like almost a golden delicious apple. It's really backed off that red skin nature and just, it's kind of a little bit fruity. There's still some spice in there, but it's just, well, obviously way toned down. So now the holly leaves. Wow, I don't know if I could tell the difference between these two. Oh, I got a slight edge of a nut on that one. Okay, now they're opening up. Candy cane's got a little more green. I was going to say bread, but it's not quite bready, but something to it. And the holly leaves. Oh, this now has some balanced baking spices in it. A little less fruit. A little less fruit. Yeah, this is moving more into a ripe cooked apple. This is moving more into spicy, but like a really like a nutmeggy spice, not a hot cracked pepper spice. The noses have changed dramatically from straight out of the cask. All right, well, may as well try the candy cane on the palate. Hope you got a rye. Cheers. You know, it's tasty in the sense it's got a little graham cracker. In the early finish, it's got a little black pepper. It's quite smooth. It's still surprisingly coating, which is interesting. I should have mentioned that on the cask strength. I get a lot I like the mouthfeel, and there the pepper is starting to perk up. So it kind of became a nice whiskey. I don't think it's going to pull down any awards. Watered down that hard, which is very interesting. So I'm going to try the holly leaves. A little bit metallic on the nose. I'm missing the fruit that I get on the candy cane. It's still got a nice complement of some light oak, some peppering. Actually, the spice even comes out more in the palate. And actually now in the finish, quite a bit. So these two, I think they're pressed too hard. I mean, 44% is still whiskey. It's not even 40%, but I don't know what it is, but they've been pressed pretty hard for me and they taste that way. Maybe they need to sit longer. Like they've only been watered maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. Like maybe the marrying, when you add water, needs to sit a bit longer. Okay, this one, the holly leaves, really has some nice echoed spice. With water, I prefer this candy cane to this holly. So, watered, 1, 2, and here, 1, 2. But I suspect my favorite straight up at the cask is my least favorite with this much water. And my least favorite, it's not right. My second choice on the cask is my first choice with water. Which is which? Do I want to embarrass myself that much? Okay, there's no way I could be 100% right. In fact, the more choices I make, the more I'm going to be 100% wrong. But I think my favorite cask strength is the first one. And I think, because I think that's the opposite with water, I'm liking the second release. How wrong can I be? Okay. Oh, really hate that part of doing blinds. Okay, so the ladybug that is purple is 61% or 65.1%. Woo! Okay, I'm okay with that. Even if that's the only one that I get right. I'm okay with that. So my favorite out of the cask is batch 1. That makes batch 2 the second batch. Like my second choice cask strength is batch 2. Now I liked it. It has lots of good punchy flavors, but I still stand by my choice. Woo! All right, now candy cane. Oh, I'm so good. Candy cane is the watered 66 and holly the watered 65. Well, clearly I'm amazing. Honestly, you guys know, if you go back and watch any of my blinds, I have often completely misguessed or completely mispicked. Often, you know, I'll get 1 out of the 4 if I'm doing 4. But I'll walk you through this. I nailed it, and that is I'm super happy. It's going to make for a good night. What I liked about this, and what I recall about this, which is why I aligned it here, is there is all kinds of bold rye in here, like all of that cracked pepper and cinnamon and a herbal note that doesn't hit you right away, but it's still there. But this batch has a balance of some good caramel, toffee, that ex-bourbon type casking. And it makes it, for me, a more balanced rye. Over here, this one, like, it's got all kinds of flavor. It is good and it is punchy. And it even has, I would say, even more heat and more pepper. Like, it's more. And I don't mean 66 to 65.1. I don't believe I can actually taste that percentage difference. This is punchier. And I think the punchier nature is why it stands up to water. So when I come down here, I'm left with really a indistinguishable fruit. And it's nice. And it does have soft caramel, and actually some of the spice comes through. But the red apple skin turns into still some apple. The punch spice still turns into a good rye hug. Interesting. Guys, thanks for joining me. I have been thinking about shooting these head to head and wanting to do them blind for myself and for you guys, in the sense of I want to do it with you. And I want to hear your thoughts. If you've had the pleasure of shooting both of these, tasting both of these, what's your comparison thoughts? If you've had one or the other, what are you thinking of it? You know, what a claim. I don't think anyone can say this one bottle is the best whiskey of all the whiskeys in the year. But we all push ourselves to make those claims. Almost the next night, something else will grab me. The punchy nature will pull me in, right? It's so difficult to say, I like this, you'll like it too. But it's sure a lot of fun to talk whiskey. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for hearing my ramblings. That was such a good kick to this Saturday. You guys have a great weekend.